Know that this is a live press conference about to take place with the Republican governor of Texas.
The entire scene as well as other locations. They have warrants out concerning the person who was responsible for the shooting, and they include warrants to search 2 residences. The reason why there is some slowness in being able to undertake these searches is because of the potential for explosive devices to be found in these residences, as they want to make sure they're able to enter them without anybody being harmed. One reason why there is concern about explosive devices is that various different kinds of explosive devices have already been detected. One was a CO2 device, another was a Molotov cocktail, and there are various other types of explosive devices that have been identified both in a home as well as in a vehicle. There's also a search warrant out for the vehicle of the shooter, but again, care and caution is being undertaken to make sure that entry is not made into that vehicle in a way that could pose harm to the people who are trying to enter into it. We also know information already that the shooter has information contained in journals on his computer and a cell phone that he said that not only did he want to commit the shooting, but he wanted to commit suicide after the shooting. As you probably know, he gave himself up and admitted at the time that he didn't have the courage to commit the suicide, that he wanted to take his own life earlier. He is currently at the Santa Fe Police Department. The Santa Fe Police Department is working in collaboration on this investigation with the FBI, with the Texas Department of Public Safety, with the ATF, with the Galveston Police Department, as well as the Galveston County Sheriff's Office. This is something that will be handled collaboratively by both federal and state prosecutors. So you'll know there are 1 or 2 other people of interest that are going to be and are currently being interviewed. One is a person who was at the scene, and we cannot definitively say whether or not this is a person who may have had some level of involvement in the crime. There was just some suspicious reactions on the part of this person that we want to make sure that this person is adequately investigated. And then separate from that, there is another person where we have certain information that we want to make sure this other person is going to be fully interviewed to see if there's information to be gleaned from this other person who at this time will not be identified. As you probably have heard, the weapons used in this attack, there are 2 weapons. One was a shotgun and the other is a .38 revolver. Neither of these weapons were owned or legally possessed by the shooter. It's my information that both of these weapons were obtained by the shooter from his father. It's my information at this time that the father legally owned these weapons. I have no information at this time whether or not the father was aware that his son had taken these weapons from the father. I do want to thank all of the multitude of law enforcement agencies that have been involved in this process. They include the Santa Fe Police Department, Galveston Sheriff's Office, Texas Department of Public Safety, League City Police Department, as I mentioned earlier, both the FBI as well as the ATF, the Galveston Police Department, Harris County Sheriff's Office, Texas City Police Department, Pearland Police Department, and Houston Metro Police Department. And 2 things we're working on as we speak. One is to make sure that parents are going to be notified as swiftly as possible. One thing that depends upon is how swiftly the crime scene is going to be able to be dealt with the concern being that for the potential of explosive devices on the crime scene. I think that's something that can be worked out here in a very short period of time. Second, very importantly, is the necessity of providing counseling to everybody involved. Certainly counseling for the families, for any living victim, but for all of the students at the school, and I would say any student in the entire independent school district. I know that resources are being provided by the county for that. They are also being provided by the state, and we will have whatever amount of counselors the school district needs. I've had the opportunity to visit with the superintendent of the school district, who's been quite helpful both in the investigation but also in the response, and I thank her for her leadership in this effort. Also, as you've heard, I have received phone calls from the President, the Vice President, the Secretary of Homeland Security, as well as the Secretary of Education. All have pledged whatever support Texas needs in order to be able to adequately respond to this.